A few years ago, I was talking with this Russian guy, Russian national, who worked at Intel, and he had emigrated to the United States. And we were talking about a couple different things, and we started talking about the Russian psyche, the Russian point of view, the way they look at the world, the way they look at life, which is different, different than most other people. And he said to me, "Look, I'm going to explain why." He said, "I'm not going to explain it, but I will. I'm going to tell you a joke, and it's a joke they tell in Russia, and it's not a funny joke. It's just an illustrative joke." He said, "So you have to understand, that Russians. I mean, first we were ruled by a king, an emperor, and that wasn't so good. And then we got a communist dictatorship, and that was definitely not good either." He said, "And now we have kind of a dictatorship, an autocracy, I guess you would call it, but it's mostly a dictatorship, and that isn't good either." He said, "So Russians, they don't have a lot of optimism that things are going to be better anytime soon. They just don't." He said, "So let me tell you the joke." He said, "And this will show you how Russians look at life." Oh, here's the joke. There's four guys, a Russian, an Englishman, a Frenchman, and an Italian. And a wizard appears to these four men. And he says, I will, grant you one wish each, anything you want. And he points to the British guy first, and he says, what do you want?" And the British guy says, "I would like my nation to be known as a country of laws. I would like our system of government to be a model for other countries worldwide." The wizard says, "Done." Next he goes to the Italian. He says, "What do you want?" The Italian says, I want my nation to be known as a place of great artistic merit, triumph, the greatest art that the world has ever seen in one place. The expression of art is unequaled." Wizard says, "Done." Next, French guy. He says, "What do you want?" Frenchman says, "I want my country to be known as the place where good food resides, where every meal is an adventure, and every adventure is a gourmet experience." He said, I want my people to be known as gourmands, and they offer the best food on the planet." Wizard says, "Done." He finally gets to the Russian. He says, "Okay." He says, "What do you want?" And the Russian says, "I want my neighbor's cow to die." I told you it wasn't funny. And then the Russian guy told me, he said, "See," he said, "the Russian people are so beaten down." He said, "They can't think big anymore. It's not even something that they can comprehend. They're just engaged in petty acts of vengeance, or, just the struggle to survive." He said, that's life in Russia. So there you go. Now, I can't vouch for the veracity of his point of view. I'm merely relaying what he told me. He said, this is the perfect crystallization of how Russians look at life.